Welcome to the Polishing Profits podcast, where we discuss all things related to the business of detailing. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is for you. In each episode, we'll cover topics ranging from business management to marketing solutions. Here to help you grow your detailing business, your hosts, Nick and Dustin.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh,
I
Dustin,
think
it's Friday.
you should spend the entire podcast. I think you should spend the entire podcast speaking like you did in that intro. What did you say, Dustin?
What? Happy Friday.
Yeah, we are back. Dustin, you are wrong. Man, you did such a good job.
When we're assigning your roles today, okay? Dustin is on bathroom duty.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. Last week's episode, we hired each other, right? I mean,
Barely.
I did not hire you, but you definitely hired me.
Yeah, you came in with just the perfect resume, perfect answers, and star pupil there, and you got
Not
the job.
real.
Congratulations.
Not
I
reality.
I didn't make that. I didn't make that cut, unfortunately.
Right. But you know what? We still got a partnership to do. And, we started this thing. We're going to finish it together.
Yep.
And, part of a partnership, a big portion of a partnership is understanding roles and responsibilities. This is how you keep the inevitable headbutt from happening.
Yeah.
Or the breakup from happening. Because if you can clearly define each other's roles and responsibilities, then you stay out of each other's lane. And we learned in the past that if you stay out of each other's lane, then you tend to not run over each other.
And you know what's interesting is this show, it's partnership with me and you, equals starting a business. And maybe it's not applicable to everybody, right? But this is also a really good sort of, information for you with a manager. Maybe you're getting a first manager that's going to help you out. You know what I mean? And your employees, and define roles and communications across a business is really, really important.
So we're so guilty of as entrepreneurs as when we hire our first few people, it's like, you're going to wear every hat, wear any hat that you need to wear. It's all I can do to make your paycheck. I need, if it's sweep the floors this week, if it's B sales next week, if it's marketing this week, okay, that happens. But let me tell you, that is, and I'm going to use the term scalable, even though that kind of makes me cringe, because that's like the trendy name right now, is every business scalable. But really, does that work as you grow? And it doesn't. People need defined roles. Now, does that mean you can't take out the trash if yours is not the trash roll? No, that don't mean that. You can take out the trash if the trash is overflowing. But that your number one job is to do whatever that role or whatever that job consists of. And now I can measure performance. If your job is a little bit of everything, how do I know if you're doing great at your job?
Yeah. And I think whenever you're doing a partnership, right, what breaks up a partnership is when those roles aren't defined and you feel like you're doing more work than the other.
Absolutely. Spot on. Spot on.
And I think that's the biggest sort of, you're trying to avoid that. And the best way to avoid it is, hey, look, I'm doing the things I'm supposed to do. He needs to be doing the things he needs to be doing. And we're going to be going forward positively and ready to rock and, have a successful business.
That's it. And again, so, if you're sitting there without a partner, you're like, how does this really apply to me? Listen to the roles and the responsibilities that we break up. We're going to take a list of roles and we're going to split them up, kind of like old school backyard, pick a team kind of vibe. Kickball. Yeah. And so, but listen to the roles and responsibilities. Listen to how we divide it up. Okay. And think about the people in your company. And maybe it's just you and your wife or your husband. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just you and a couple people. Think about how you can section some of these things off to them and put them responsible in that level and let that kind of come off of you. So maybe you got everybody overlapping a little bit. So don't know, the tail's wagging the dog, and we don't want that. Is that the right term? I don't even know what that means, honestly.
Dustin, some of these phrases tail wag. Yeah. So we're gonna rock with it. I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. But you know what? It catches me every week that there's gonna be one Dustinism that I just have never heard in my life.
The tail cannot wag the dog. The dog has to wag the tail, son. So if you have everybody doing a little bit of everything, that's just the way it is. And so, anyways, use this as an opportunity to listen to these roles and responsibilities and think about your own business. Put your business down through this process.
Yeah.
Write them down. Say who's doing what, and just make sure they listen. I'm not trying here to say, hear one of my guys say that's not my job, because that don't matter. That don't count.
Yeah.
Everything is your job. But what is your priority in this business? And
I'll let you know. I'll let you know if that's not my job. I'll let you know. And after today, if I'm not, I'll let you know, Dustin.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
What you know? What we got to. So we got a list. We worked on this list together.
Yeah,
but we're going to sort of figure out. What I'm going to do is we're going to highlight, and there's 1, 2, 3. There's about 10 things on this list. We're each going to try and make sure it's an even list for both sides. Okay. And we're going to go through that. And he's taking these extra notes saying, hey, that one I'm giving to Nick. This one I'm giving to Nick. I know how that goes. But the first one that's kind of a fun one is like, listen, it starts off as something simple, right? Coffee, donuts, breakfast. Who's in charge of that, Dustin?
Who's bringing that morning? Who's bringing that morning? Listen, I'm a early morning. If I'm not good at that kind of stuff, I'm not gonna take that one. Nick, you take coffee.
No. This is not how it's gonna work. We're gonna. You know what? We're gonna.
How does it work? I don't know.
I'm not a morning person either. I don't want to be bringing coffee and donuts every day. I'll handle lunch. You see what I'm saying? I got you on lunch. I'll go pick you up some.
Okay, so hold on. I think I'm the better lunch picker upper though.
If we are just starting out and we can't even get past coffee and donuts, we're gonna.
All right. So the first lesson in this podcast is compromise. It's compromise.
I'm bringing my own coffee. Done.
Okay. You're bringing coffee. I'm getting lunch, or what?
You know what? I don't know. It depends how the day before went, if I'm bringing you coffee or not.
All right. Next.
Okay. On a more serious note, we're going to sort of go through some of those things that are back office first, right? Yeah. And then we're going to sort of end with some of the service stuff and how that's going to sort of work. So I think the next one that's not super fun, but I got to take care of today after the podcast is payroll. But go ahead.
Should we put the list on the screen? Chris could put the list and then we just pick from that.
Okay.
Openly pick?
You want? Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. You want to do that fast, and then we can sort of jump back to it.
Yeah. Do you have it? Did you type it out?
I typed it up. Yeah, we can. It's not super pretty. Let me try and make it a little prettier for the audience.
And the reason being, then we'll do kickball style. We'll just pick and we'll go from that.
Okay. I like that. Hold on, give me.
And put breakfast and lunch back on there because they may end up at the end, and somebody's got to pick it. So that's the way this is gonna. Guys, this is a little bit impromptu in case you didn't notice. We were really trying to figure out how
professional as it's going to get.
This is pure production, planning. This is actually in the script that we were going to do all this.
This is all parts. Share screen. Yup. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Whenever we're ready, we'll just toss it up there. What color do you want to be, Dustin?
Make mine red.
Okay. Okay, so Dustin's red. I'll be blue. Guys, you see, I feel like I'm doing most of the work already right here.
All right. So it doesn't matter which one you pick. You can pick through the whole list is available.
Okay. Well, okay. Who gets first pick? You take first pick.
We gotta do a coin toss. We gotta do a coin toss, dude.
You know what? We're 9 minutes in. I'm a gentleman. Go ahead. You got first.
Okay. I'm first. I think Chris printed to get a quarter. All right. So first thing on the list, who's gonna do what?
What do you want first?
Okay. You know what I want? I'm gonna take it off your hands. Did you put accounting in there? You may not have. Bookkeeping. Put me in bookkeeping. That's going to include AP and AR, which is the bills and invoices and that kind of stuff. I want to be in our books. I want to know if we're making money or not. I'm taking accounting.
Okay. My first one, I'm going to take off your hands. Hiring, firing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I got you there. That's one of my favorites. You make that connection with people.
I
got no issue there. What's your next pick there?
Okay, hiring and firing. All right, so I'm gonna take. I'm taking it. Check-in process. Here's why.
Well, you know what? We put that on there, because you wanted to talk about the
That's
Saturn
it.
storm.
That's it.
That's
I want to let them know. I want
Yep.
to let them know what our values are and what our logo means. I want
Okay.
them to have an experience when they show up to what's it called? Red Dot
You don't
Detailing.
even remember the name. Oh my.
Because y'all been messing it up ever since.
Yeah,
I'm taking
yeah.
the check-in process. Guys, for those of you who don't know check-in process, that's after the sale's made over the phone. Customer shows up. It's also time for the upsell
Mhm.
that customer. But we have a check-in process. So you meet with that customer. You go over things that you're planning to do, opportunities to upsell, and go over like anything that may be damaged.
Mhm.
Should they remove their items, that kind of stuff. That's a check-in process.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. Chat
All
their
right, I'm
ear off.
taking check-in.
Don't lose any sales there. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into what am I thinking here? I think I'm gonna do ordering. I'm gonna keep the
Oh,
shop stocked. I like making again, I know we talked about the other show, like every once in a while I'll do a mystery box. I like trying new stuff. So I'm like, hey,
okay.
look, as long as we got the budget for it, we're gonna be ordering some good quality chemicals, materials, whatever it may be.
Let
So I'm
me
good there.
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about ordering process that needs to be thought about.
Okay.
If you don't have some sort of inventory management, and it
Absolutely.
can be very, very simple, guys. It can be a spreadsheet um, of what you're using. You tend to over order. Okay, it's like
Yep.
you ever packed a bag for a trip and really didn't know what you were going to do, so you just packed everything. There's like 56
Throw
pairs of
everything
underwears.
in there. Throw
Okay,
everything in there.
same thing happens with ordering. Here's the problem is that has a major impact on cash flow. If your
Absolutely.
money's tied up on the shelf, guess where it's not? In your bank account.
Yeah.
Okay? And so with ordering, I think that, having an inventory process, I want to guys, if you don't have that simple, it's so simple. You can just put a list of your products that you use, and you don't
Mhm.
have to be brand specific. You say degreaser, right? Degreaser. Whether I buy from ADG or buy from whatever, that's fine. But you want to have an understanding of how much you're using. And if you're a one-man show, owner operator, it can be on a weekly basis. It don't have to be daily that you're looking at these things, and you can estimate, half bottle or quarter bottle. And
Mhm.
unless you know how much you're using, that also helps with cost. So just a little tidbit there on ordering.
Okay.
All
What's
right.
your next pick there?
My next one. My next one is
Drum roll.
uh,
You see, like
uh
again, we're gonna pick the ones that we feel probably most comfortable with.
yeah, completely lost sound. There we go. I got it back. Uh, okay, I'm gonna go. You know what? Listen, I'm taking Shop Deep Clean.
Okay, good. I was gonna give you that one anyway.
I like Shop Deep Clean and organized because a clean shop is a happy shop.
Yeah, yeah. Well, luckily from last show when we did our ordering, shopping cart, I have all the hose reels and everything all set up already for you.
It's gonna help me. It's
But
gonna
you know
help
what? You're going to be cleaning that air compressor. You can clean
me.
that air compressor
My
out.
$100,000 air conditioner. Air compressor.
Um, okay, so as we're getting down on the list here, the one I really don't want, I hate sales. So I'm going to make sure that you get stuck with that one.
There's a you have a strategy to this thing.
Oh, absolutely, Dustin. Absolutely. This is a process of elimination. This is chess, not checkers here.
Right there, you go.
So I've got no issue. I'll handle payroll. I got payroll
All
locked down
right.
there. That's
See, I like
that's
that.
okay.
That makes sense with hiring and firing. That's part of
Yeah, yeah.
HR.
I got the pretty much put an HR hat on me.
Yeah. Yep. All right. You know what I want to do?
Yep.
So we should have broke out marketing plan versus marketing the photo video. We
Done,
can do
done.
that.
But
Yeah,
we
let's
can
do
do that.
that.
Okay, okay.
I
Photo,
want
video.
to. I'm gonna handle the bills.
Bills.
So
Makes
along
sense.
with our bookkeeping
If you're
role,
going with
yeah,
bookkeeping, you're going to be making sure the bills get out on time. If we get a
that's right.
notice, you know,
But you can
be like,
see, listen, you can see how this divide's starting to happen. You know,
yeah,
you're dealing with the service end, and I'm kind of dealing with the back office end. In a sense,
yeah.
you see how that's just organically separating, and that tends to happen. You got
And
two
as
different.
silly as this is, it's a like again, let's say you're working with someone, and you're like, look, these are the responsibilities that I need done, whether it's with a partner, with a manager, with a
Yes.
employee, you know what I mean? Saying, hey, look, I'm going to take care of this stuff to make sure I'm there to support you. but these are the roles and responsibilities. Do you have any issues with them? Do you have any feedback? You know what I mean? And talk it out with them in a manner somewhat similar to this, and you're going to get really good feedback.
And you know what you're doing? Then the other person is picking what they want to do. And they're saying, this is what I will do. So like, it's not like, here's my list of roles, but it's almost like, hey, here's what I said I would do, you know? And then it's an accountability piece after that.
Yeah.
All right.
The one thing I wanted to add, you'll know where the weaknesses are. If they're like, look, Nick, I just don't know anything about sales. Well, you know what? Hey, no. Don't even worry about it. That's not something I'm going to put on your table there. You know, maybe if you really like it, you want to learn about it, sure, but I'm not going to put you at play to the strengths. You know, it definitely makes a big difference there.
Exactly. You know, something else to consider too, or go ahead and pick your next one, and then I'll talk about that.
Cool. My next one. I'm gonna. Hopefully, I've learned a little something from Chris. I'm gonna jump on the photo video. So while you're there sweating it out in the shop because we can't afford air conditioning because of our compressor, I'm gonna be there just taking some photos, videos, you know, for the marketing there. Just the content creation.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry. That's supposed to be blue. Hold on. Go ahead.
One thing you somebody may be thinking as they're watching this is, you know, like you see some landscaping or some of these things that may be outsourced, right? But we're going into this shop with a pretty lean budget. We've spent a lot of money on a nice place, and we're gonna have to go in there and wear a lot of hats, right?
Yeah.
So we want to take on these responsibilities until we can afford to sub them out. Now, am I going to be out there trimming the hedges versus polishing the Corvette or polishing the Ferrari?
No.
Where am I better served? Where's my money at? But for this instance, we don't have the Ferrari in the garage yet. We have things we have to get done, and there is no one but me and you to do them. And that's why these things are on this list. I do think that you should look to sub out things that serve you better once your schedule is full. However, if your schedule is not full, you better not be paying the yard guy.
Yeah. Now, the thing is that I'm thinking is you got the check-in process. Maybe you get a little gardening green thumb with you. Maybe you got some vegetables in the front. You could talk to them about, you know, who knows, you know, let you handle the landscaping, gardening, you know, let you really have a good time with that.
I'm taking sales. I threw all that at you to take sales.
Now, okay, that's good because I didn't want sales, so it works out well.
You know, sales with check-in makes sense. Listen, guys, I'm going to be talking to the customer. I'm building that relationship with the customer. When they show up, they're already used to talking to me. If I throw a twist on them, that's some stuff. Maybe I have promised some things over the phone, and I want to make sure that gets conveyed when they get there. So sales and check-in often go together. We have two people in that position here at Easy In. Our QC check-in and check-out are all the same, and then our sales, but they work side by side. So they really understand the customers and the customers' wants and needs.
Again, if I'm doing photo video, it probably makes the most sense to just jump onto the marketing plan and the ads there. So I'm good.
I wanted you to take that.
I know you do.
Now, here's what I'm going to say with marketing. You know, I enjoy marketing. I enjoy the thought of it. Okay. The implementation of a marketing plan makes me want to go crazy. I love to think about it. I hate to do it. And I think a lot of people fall into that category.
Well, don't worry. You don't have to worry about that. I got it covered. You can love it all you want. I don't think it's in red, so you're good.
Okay. So we only have a couple left here.
So let's talk about how this is sort of breaking down at the end. It's going to come down to two different options here because I think the performing services we sort of saved. It's going to be both of us.
Absolutely.
Right? I know we're going to talk about that a little bit. So you've got next pick where you're in charge of coffee and donuts every morning, or would you like to do landscaping? And that is the big final. That is the last person in kickball.
I'm going to the donut store.
Gosh darn it. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I like it with 2 creams and a sugar. So I'll make sure.
You know what? I do too. That is so weird.
So I got no issue. I can landscape a little bit. That's not in general maintenance. I got that I got that covered.
I think
Don't you worry.
Centos will set me up a nice machine in there when I get a little bit of money saved up and I
Yeah.
hit our books. I'm gonna make sure that I budget in Centos. I don't know if they do coffee. I don't
So
know.
look, let me see if I can do a quick, cut here. Control X.
You're gonna stack them up.
I'm gonna try and get them stacked up here the best I
Y'all
can.
need Miss Vindy to handle all of your food needs. Billy Smith, that is 100% right. Nick, have you ever met Miss Vandy, Billy's wife?
I don't think I have. No.
Okay, I'm just gonna put you onto something right here. If she ever offers to cook for you, or if you ever land in that situation,
I ever get lucky enough, maybe she comes visit us in Jupiter.
Dude, it is unbelievable. She last year for Mobile Tech, we stayed a couple houses down, and then this year we're actually staying in the same house with them. They cooked breakfast and dinner, and I mean the breakfast is phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal. However, I'm gonna throw her under the bus here. She likes to use onions, and I'm not an onion kind of guy, so I had to dodge the onions. But man, I'm telling you, dude, she's Mama Vandy. Mama Vandy takes care of,
That's important. That's important. You gotta stay well fed. We got to be able to do the jobs there.
Yeah, Speaking of, I want to talk about donuts real quick too, if we got just a second. Donuts there's more to that. Okay, this morning, I have our morning meeting, and I said, okay, guys, we don't do it every day, but we do it probably once a week. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to get breakfast. What you want? And we go get kolaches and donuts and whatever. But it's more than that. It's first of all, it's sugar for energy. But it's about like setting the tone, and it's always good on a Friday, man. Like think about it, like when you used to go to school and like there'd be something special, you're hating on the day, but you come in and like, there's this thing, like
I'm there to do the work. I'm there to learn.
No, bro, you gotta have donuts. We have a thing called a breakfast bowl down here. It's cheese grits and bacon and eggs all in a bowl.
You know what, Dustin? I think that you got the coffee donuts roll is perfect for you. I'm very excited for that roll for you.
I'm going to come in talking about our logo and red top and our red spot. And
you've got, so if we look at the rolls, right, we'll go through yours real quick and we'll talk about yours first and then we can talk about mine. Just any little notes or stuff that you see. So Dustin, you've got coffee and donuts in the morning. You're going to handle those bills, accounts payable, accounts receivables. Sales and that check-in process, a shop deep clean, and that bookkeeping there. How do you feel with those roles as a partner there?
They line up. The majority of my work is going to be done in the office outside of performing the task outside in the shop, which makes sense, right? I'm in there handling sales. If the phones are slow, I'm tackling my transactions that I need to. I'm keying the bills once a week. One thing about all this is setting a routine and breaking down your day where you can make that happen. So I'm coming in early. I may have to leave to go get donuts and coffee because I don't want the coffee cold. But I'm coming in early and I'm knocking out my bookkeeping stuff early. I don't want that on my plate at noon. I want that done by 6:30.
Let me throw this at you because the way I envision it, right? Let's say we're open from 9 to 5. Between 9 and 5, we're going to most likely be performing the services, right? All these jobs, being a business owner, right? Being a manager, these are outside of those 9 to 5.
These are 5 to 9s. That's what it's called. These are 5 to 9s, and that's the truth. That is the truth, and that's why people struggle with entrepreneurship because you got to be willing to work outside the 9 to 5, and if you're not, then you will struggle because it just don't happen like that.
I'm going to be showing up on my electric scooter at 9 o'clock, right? I need coffee there at 9 o'clock. I can't be. You can't get there and then run and get coffee. The rolls off. You won't be back till 10. You'll be chatting. You'll be chatting with the Dunkin' Donuts lady about red dot detailing.
Absolutely, I'm meeting potential clients.
And you know what? I'll be there. I got a ceramic. I got to get prepped and ready. Yeah, and I don't even have a sip of coffee yet.
Speaking of that, we talked about splitting the service roles. That's something that we'll absolutely would have to do, because we're going to be taking in work. We got to have enough to pay both of our pay. And we have to, we want to grow. We don't want to be, I don't want to be the guy that's deep cleaning the shop every day for the rest of my life. Like my job is to replace me. And so we got to get in there and perform some work and make some money so we can look at what it would be like to hire.
What's
So
interesting is I think as that process starts playing out, you know what I mean? We're here performing these services. So let's say again, as people schedule, they don't know me, they don't know you. You're gonna be doing the check-ins, that's fine. But it's almost gonna be like, hey, similar to this. You got one, I got one. You got one, I got one. It's just what comes in the. I like the random aspect of it, and that keeps it. Again, you might get, with your luck, we'll call it luck. You'll have two Porsches back to back 911s that are white, right? And I'll have a couple black Escalades that pull in between those.
Yep.
So, but again, the random aspect of the performing of the services, I think, is a real fair way to do it. Of hey, you're up, I'm up, you're up, I'm up, and
absolutely,
when there's an odd number, we're jumping on them together. And we're you're on the 3, I'm on the 3-inch, and you're on the 5-inch, and we're polishing that puppy out.
What happens too is people, you kind of fall into a rhythm, and usually I catch this and you catch that kind of thing.
Yep.
And like our shop has, organically goes in that direction where, okay, this person kind of always gets this thing and that person always kind of gets that thing. And it just happens organically. But you got to be fluid enough to change when that time says one thing shows up and that's all that's in for today. We're both jumping on it. We're able to work together.
Well, with our phenomenal marketing plan, right?
And never be a time
that one. And again, people will be booking online, right? We'll show up and we'll have an extra job on that. You know what I mean? And it's going to be it's going to be built to be fluid. And I think that's a really good way to do it. That's why we love the online booking. And you're going to set yourself up to be able to fill both of our schedules. And if one, for whatever reason, it's just your schedule's filled, we split it up. We make it as even as possible.
That's right. And that's what business is all about. Sorry, my chair's sinking. I'm getting shorter as we go. That's what business is all about is fluid and being able to change. It's this, all of it sounds real pretty nice and neat in the beginning. But I can tell you right now, once you get in the middle of it, things get a little muddy. But if you start out with some basic infrastructure like this and you say, okay, these are the things that got to be done and we can check on these. Now, what's cool about each one of these outside of probably coffee and donuts is there's a thing called KPIs for each one of these, like indicators of how well I'm doing that job. So when we think about hiring that position out, or when we think about how do we measure how good Nick does his hiring and firing, well, we rate that on retention, and we say, okay, how long is our average employee staying here? How are we hiring and promoting, or are we just revolving door? And so there's metrics in each one of these that's very simple to track, very simple, but they also are definitive. And it helps you if this is a hired position to, when it comes time for termination, if that's the case, to say, here's why I've got to let you go, is because these numbers are not where we need them to be. And in every position that you have, there are numbers that tell you about performance.
Yeah. And those numbers is just the data, right? And
that's it.
Taking that data and reading it and making a decision off of it is really important. In terms of the stuff, some stuff on my list, right? The ordering, the inventory. I think that's the one that we'll probably do a little bit different, just because that's the creative aspect of it. That's the detailer in me. You know what I mean? I do like trying new stuff. If we're slow, that's when I'm like, hey, let's just get a new compound. Let's just throw it on a car. Let's see what it does. You know what I mean? Like that's the one part where I'm going to leave myself a little wiggle room. Because I like having a little freedom with that,
again. And I think you speak to most detailers when you say that. I am different. I'm like a process kind of person. And if I find something that works, I don't want to change it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, it's just, there's always the new technology then. And that's what keeps it fun and exciting. You know what I mean? That's why I love doing what I do. The hiring, firing, you know what I mean? That's the other one. I know that was the one you're like, thank goodness I didn't have to do that one.
Absolutely. I hate it.
Yep. I'll be honest. That's my number one favorite job. Not the firing part, but the hiring and giving people opportunities.
So yeah. And I guess you're right. I mean, so the hiring, I love to hire, but the firing just negates the fun in hiring to me. And so like, I'm happy to pass that on, because I would love to welcome new people and welcome them into our business, but to have to go through that process, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, here's some coffee and donuts, welcome in. Have you heard about our logo? Just stuff, I need to know. I know Nick hired you. Did he give you the in-depth?
I'll tell you right now, I did not. I won't.
Sit down right here, Bob. Sally, sit on the couch for a minute. I've got to talk to you. Get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, the payroll stuff, pretty basic. It's just, that's a like you said, 5 to 9 job. You're just doing that after hours and you're finishing that up.
And guys, don't overcomplicate that either. There's software, there's services that make that stuff easy for you. That doesn't have to be overly complicated.
Yeah, and then the marketing plan ads and the photo video, that's the one that's going to be a bear.
Yes.
He's laughing over there.
Yeah. 9 to 5, y'all working part-time. No, we working 9 to 5 and 5 to 9.
Yeah, but it's creating that balance because you got to make sure you can be like, hey, look, you got to perform services, but you got to run a business. Yeah. You know what I mean? And whether you're mobile, whether you've got a shop right now, it's like, hey, are you putting a certain time of your day for the other stuff other than performing businesses or you're performing services? I'm sorry. Yeah.
And here's the thing about it. Let's be real. All right. Most of these guys that are complaining to me about not having time, they're on your phone. It tracks your time that you're spending on certain apps. Okay. I tell them the first thing I do when you talk to me about not having time is to show me your phone. What do you want to do? I want to look at and see where you're spending your time because it's going to tell me if you're on Facebook for 2.5 hours a day. All right. And then when you
they're doing marketing.
No, sir. No, sir. No, they're not. Their sales tell me they're not doing marketing.
Yeah.
And so seriously, like the guys that are telling me they don't have time are probably wasting, not saying you got to take time away from your family, but you're probably wasting time that you could use on these things. You're just procrastinating it and then telling me with an excuse, look, man, anytime I don't get something done, it's my fault. It's not, and then I can change that. But, so just looking for time that you don't have to take away from the family. We're not preaching just terrible work-life balance. I have terrible work-life balance. I'm not preaching that. We are, dude. Get out of the house and go to work. Yeah. No, but you can spend time. Listen, when you're on Facebook, spend the time, developing your marketing plan and doing some of these things that can happen. And if you don't know how to do them, reach out, man. I bet you your 12-year-old niece that's, on TikTok every hour knows exactly how to make a post.
Yeah. But I think. Listen, it was 30 minutes. We split up roles. We did, I think, a real good job of it. I feel good about it. Hopefully you do too. You know what I mean? And hopefully you're able to sort of, grab something from this and it helps you out.
This is going to be a well-oiled machine, son. Everybody's going to be sold. Everybody's going to come through and be like, man, who's that dude up front? He's a machine.
I feel like the upselling of some of those services that are a pain in the butt are going to be on the ones that cars I'm working on.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, car seat. You like your car seat clean? Yeah, we can do that. Nick's Bay.
Oh, hey, Nick's Bay's over. Man.
Yeah, pull that around to Bay 2. Bay 2.
I know you don't think you need a full shampoo and you really don't have that many stains, but just do it. It's worth it.
Did you say you had a husky that lived in the back for a year?
Yeah. Let's jump inside. Yeah, Bay 2.
We'll take it.
Yeah. I feel like as long as the coffee and donuts are good, I don't care. We'll take it.
I think mold and mildew probably hit a nerve, would it? Right now?
Yeah. So I know we had to turn down a job today. Real life. We had a car with a bunch of mold in it. And I'm talking like it's been a year where just water was in it. It was a total mess.
That's terrible.
And we've dealt with some mold cars. They come in. But this was on another level, and we're like, look, go through insurance, get a restoration company out there. Yeah. You're gonna have to do some this is leather perforated seats and like mold coming out of those pores. And I'm like, we're not gonna be able to get under that. This just don't want to get under it. And they're like, hey, they need it right away. They want to sell the car. I'm like, this is not an easy process. I'd rather make sure we don't, set the right expectations, try and give them a good game plan.
How many jobs could you do and make money in the time that you would be pulling your hair out on that job? And that's what people need to look at is like, when I take a job that I really don't want to do, I'm literally telling someone else no. Now, if you don't have nothing else to do for a month, and that's what's going to pay the rent this week, we mold removers. We're mold removers.
Here, minute 35 of the video, I'm going to push back. Dustin, my favorite thing is when those crazy situations happen. Now, this was extreme. I'll be honest with you. But when they call and they need help, right?
Oh, Tenderhearted, man.
Because I'm a softie.
I am too.
For me, that's like, again, it was a rain day. We were about to close. I was out the door, right? I had a lady, like, my dog just threw up. Bring it in.
Yep,
I'm the
same way. I'm the same way.
I mean?
Me and you are going to be.
Now he switches up. Now he's like, hey, think of how many jobs you could have done instead of that. No.
Don't say. Don't do as I say. No, don't do as I do. Do as I say.
No. So again, for me, it's always about, listen, I'm going to put my best foot forward, but I'll also do that if we are. Again, I haven't turned down a job. I'm talking in years.
Yeah.
This is something where I'm like, listen, this is for their own good. And it's like, I drove over to his house. It was going to be a mobile job. I drove over in the morning, 8 a.m. And I'm like, listen, they came in yesterday. I was like, I talked to him, older guy. I wanted to do right by him. I'm like, listen, to do right by you, we got to turn down this job. That was a hard conversation. Yeah. Yep. So
no, I get it.
Sorry. Get it. We got to be the softie here.
All right, cool. We got job roles next week. I don't know what we got going next week, but we will make an announcement. We're going to go to work figuring that out. I think we kind of have a plan, but we'll see how that plan.
Yeah. Let's keep it on the hush. That's all good. I'm good with that.
I like it. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Great show, Nick. As always, man. Happy Friday. I'm getting shorter and shorter by the minute, and I didn't need no help in that department. We will see you guys next week.
Peace out.
Peace.